Okay. Hello, everyone. Please, if you are on this live stream right now, please do well to drop any emoji at all. Let me know your name, where you are called. Like, I want to know more about you. Okay, so drop your comments in the comment section. Tell me your name and where you're listening from, where you're streaming from. Let me know where you are streaming from. Okay. Ta-da. Okay. I'm still waiting for you guys. Do well to drop your comments in the comment section. Let me know where you're listening from. Let's get this streaming rolling immediately. Thank you so much for joining. Please do all to drop your comments. Do all to drop your comments in the comment section. Let me know where you're streaming from. Thank you so much. Okay. Okay, so you guys know that this event is one of the events you get to talk about a lot of things that people shy away from. Okay, you get to talk about a lot of things that people shy away from. That is one of the reasons why we are having this event in the first place. That's one of the reasons why we're having this event in the first place. So if you're new here, the title, or should I say title? No, let me not say title. um the name of this event is called Real Talk with Fortuna. Okay, Real Talk with Fortuna. And I came up with this this name because I always like to express myself in the realest form as I can. And when I started this event on LinkedIn, right? I started this event on LinkedIn, and a lot of people did not know some few things. Do I say some people were shying away from some certain things that could hold you back? So that was one of the reasons why the name of this event came up, Real Talk with Fortuna, because this is where you get to be yourself, you get to talk about who you are, like talk about, like express yourself in the realest form. Okay, so we'll be doing this event on LinkedIn. We'll be doing this event on LinkedIn, but now we decided to bring it to YouTube. Okay, we decided to bring it to YouTube. So that is one of the reasons why we are using YouTube. Okay, so because we want to reach out to more persons, and there are a lot of people on LinkedIn who are going to be joining this live as well. So we are trying to reach out to more people on YouTube as well. So if you're just joining here, please do well to drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know that you are here. Do well to drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know that you are here. So for starters, if you don't know me and you're just joining, my name is Hustle Fortuna, and I am the founder of Virtualize Hub, and I'm also a virtual assistant, and I am a public speaker. So that is one of the reasons why I'm always on air. I'm always streaming, trying to reach out to a lot of people that would hear my voice, and we get to talk about things that people don't really talk about online. So that is one of the reasons why we are having this event. That's one of the reasons why we're having this event. So please do well to drop your comments in the comment section if you are just joining. Do well to drop your comments in the comment section if you're just joining. Let us know your name, what you do, and also don't forget the title of today's episode is How Can I Be Messy? How can I start messy? How can I start messy? This is something that a lot of people are having challenges with, trying to become perfectionists in order for them to be that kind of person that people want them to be. But today we are going to break down this topic. We are going to share a lot of stuff, the realest things on this topic. How can I start messy? How can I start messy? So a lot of people who don't know how they can start messy, a lot of people who don't know how they can start messy, it can be very, very challenging if you don't know how to start, just start like that, because there are a lot of things that are holding a lot of people back. Yes, there are a lot of things that are holding a lot of people back. So please, please, please share this live. Share this live if you have any of your family members that needs to hear this topic. Okay, if you have any of your members that needs to hear this topic, that needs to be on this live stream to listen to this topic, please share it to them. And remember, the topic says, How can I start messy? How can I start messy? So we're going to be dealing with a lot of things that people don't really talk about. We're going to be dealing with a lot of things that people don't talk about. Now, when does according to the topic says, How can I start messy? How do you start messy? How do you start messy? I see a lot of people who always have something in mind to do. I see a lot of people who have something in mind to do, and they want to start it. They have it in mind to start it, but they are finding it difficult to start. But today we are going to unfold all those things. We are going to unfold all those things. So let's say you have a business. Let's say you have a business that you want to start, and you're thinking about the capital to start it. In your head, you're like, I want to start this business, but I want to start it in a grand style. I want to start this business in a very big way, that it's not make me look as if I'm a small business owner. A lot of people have that mindset. Sometimes let's also use this instance where someone says that I want to start shooting videos, like creating content on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on TikTok, and they don't have the right tools. They don't have the right tools to start. They don't have the right tools to start. They start thinking, how do I start this? How do I start this? It is like literally people always have this challenge of wanting to start something. So how do I start this? That is what they keep asking themselves. How do I start it? Now, someone that wants to start creating content, someone that wants to start creating content on YouTube, Instagram, on TikTok, and all that. Hi, Kate. Hi, Kate. It's nice to have you here. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. So please do well to drop your what's it called, your location, where you're streaming from, so every other person would know where you're streaming from, and also tell us what you do. Okay, thank you very much. So just like what I was saying before, so a lot of people who want to start content creation, they think about wanting to start a content. Okay, and the next thing that comes into their mind is that I want to create a content, but I don't know how to create a content. Some of them know how to create that content, but finding it, like starting it, is one of the most difficult things for some people, because number one, you're thinking about the phone, you're thinking about the phone that you want to use. You're thinking about the phone that you want to use. Let's say you don't have a phone that is it's clear enough, like the camera is good enough. You don't have it, okay? And somebody else, and you're also thinking about maybe the lights, your maybe the lighting that you're going to use, because you see a lot of content creators have a lot of gadgets, content creation kits, gadgets for their content, and you don't even have any. And so because of that, you start feeling like, oh, I want to have this, I want to have this, how can I do this, how can I do that? You keep procrastinating at the same time. You keep procrastinating, trying to become a trying to become somebody else that you're not. So in this case now, you see that there is fear coming in. There is fear coming in, and at the same time, procrastination is coming in, and at the same time, you are feeling like you want to be somebody else. What's this word now? There's this word that they call um like trying to be someone else, trying to look up to somebody, and you want to be exactly like that person, when you know that you don't have the right things to start, right? You don't have the right things to start. But this is literally how you can start messy. This is literally how you can start messy, by simply starting with what you have. You might not have a good phone. You might not have a good phone to start creating this content. You might not have a good phone to start creating this content, but you can simply use that phone to just create content. Because nowadays, I will be honest with you, there are a lot of videos online. There are a lot of videos online where what's the word now, where people create content that their camera quality is not so good. Like it's not that bad either, but it's not clear enough, but you see them have a lot of views. The major thing is to pass an information across. You're trying to pass a message across. So if your own idea is to educate people online, if your own idea is to educate people online, the best thing to do is to just start messy. Okay, just start messy. You have a phone, and you know that this phone is, at least it's clear enough for someone to see your face. You just have to start. You don't have to start feeling like, oh, I need an iPhone. So if I don't have iPhone, I cannot start creating content. I need a ring light. If I don't have ring light, I will not create content. It doesn't work that way, because number one, a lot of people out there who are into content, they use their what's the word now? They use the daylight to create those content. They don't even have ring light. They don't have all those lighting things and everything. They don't have that. All they simply do is to use the brightness of the day to create their content. Please, thank you so much for joining in. If you're just joining in, please do well to drop your comments in the comment section. Let me know that you are here, and also tell me where you're streaming from. Okay, I'll be so glad to call your name, right? Call your name. So thank you so much. Just drop your comments in the comment section, and I'm going to respond. Okay, so if you're just joining in, the title of our episode today is how can I start messy. How can I start messy? So that is the topic of today. How can I start messy? So please do well to drop your comments and also your views about this. Hi, Happiness. How are you? It's so good to have you here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So please do well to drop your comments in the comment section, what you think about um how can I start messy. Okay, so I'll be throwing some questions. Okay, sooner or later I'll be throwing some questions so I could get you guys view about it. So just like what I'm saying now, there are a lot of things that hinder people from starting out. There are a lot of things that hinder people from starting out. So let's start with those things that hinder people from starting out. The first thing is fear. Okay, the first thing is fear. A lot of people are afraid to start something. A lot of people are afraid to start something. And sometimes, even if you've probably started something in the past or something like that, you are still, I think, this fear of a thing is not ever going to leave. Like, it's not ever going to leave. It's something that is in our atmosphere. Let me just put it that way. It's something that is always there, right? But your ability to overcome it, is what makes you one step ahead of someone else. Is what makes you one step ahead of someone else. So at one point, you might have overcome a lot of challenges on the way, okay, trying to overcome the fear and everything. But then there might be something along the way in your journey, okay, as you're progressing, that something comes up, and then that spirit of fear comes in again. The spirit of fear comes in again, and you're like, how am I going to do this? But you've forgotten that what there was one time in your life that you overcame that spirit of fear. That is the reason why I said this spirit of fear comes in once in a while, especially when you are progressing, especially when you're progressing. That is what happens. That is what happens. So whenever you're trying to be one step ahead of your peers, or whenever you're trying to progress, whenever you're trying to do something that is going to make you to shine brighter, that is where the spirit of fear comes in. Hi, Amara. Good to have you here. Thank you so much for joining. That is when you have that is when a lot of things start happening. So that spirit of fear, it comes, like, it's normal, but the thing is how you can overcome this. Okay, how can you overcome this spirit of fear? How can you overcome this spirit of fear? That is what we are trying to do here. So now, okay, sorry. Okay. Okay, so please, if you are still here, just do well to drop your comments in the comment section. Just do well to drop your comments in the comment section. Okay, so if you're here, let me just ask the people in the comment section who have been dropping comments. Okay, Kate, Happiness, Amara, please do well to drop your comments in the comment section. So let me ask a question. Have you ever been afraid of starting something in your life? Like, have you ever been afraid of starting something in your life? So drop in the comment section. Let's hear from you if you have been afraid of starting something in your life. Okay, so drop your comments if you've been afraid of starting something in your life. Okay. And then another thing is, have you ever thought that what you want to do is not going to work? What you want to do is not going to work. Have you ever thought about that? Like, you want to start something and you start feeling like, oh, this thing is not going to work. Have you ever thought that way? So drop it in the comment section if you have ever felt that way. Like, how did you feel? How did you feel when you say you want to start something and then you start feeling like this thing is not going to work? This is, in fact, you've already judged yourself that, oh, this thing is never going to work. This is never going to work. Because number one, I want to say that there's something even want to say. There's something I want to say. There are people who have what's the word? There are people who have mentors, okay? There are people who have other people that they look up to. They look up to these people, and someone will come to you and tell you that, oh, I want to start something. Someone will come to you and say, oh, I want to start something, and the person has explained everything that the person wants to do. Okay, you've explained everything that you want to do, and then the next minute, the person who you think is going to encourage you to start that thing will start telling you that, oh, you're going to be a failure if you start this thing. In fact, in less than 1 week, it's not going to work pata. That is what the person will tell you, and you'll be like, is it not the same person that I always look up to? I'm thinking that this person is supposed to encourage me, but no, the person is not. Like, the person is doing the reverse of it. So I've gotten messages from people when they come to me and they tell me that, oh, I've been trying to start something. I've spoken to a lot of people, and those people that they mentioned are people who they are close to. And they have spoken to them and said, this is what I want to do. But they are not getting that feedback. They're not getting that, energy to start that thing. So have you ever Have you ever spoken to somebody about what you want to do and then you got a negative response from that person? Let me know in the comment section. Let me read what is in the comment section now. Okay, so Kate says, I have, as a matter of fact, let me put it here so you guys will see. I have, as a matter of fact, when I want to start anything new, I'm always scared. I'm always scared. So yes, it is. I think it happens to everyone. I think it happens to everyone. Like I said, it is normal. It is normal. The only way you can overcome this, the only way you can progress is when you tell yourself that whatever, what's that word, come what may, I'm going to see the end of it. So I don't know, some persons might be Christians here, some persons might not, but if you have this, the more reason why you need to start. Because if the conviction is not strong, just know that that thing you want to start, it's not going to work, and you are the only one that will know if this conviction you have is very strong. Because if you say you want to really start this thing and you go and talk to A, and you go and talk to Mr. A, you go and talk to Mr. B, you go and talk to Mrs. C, you start having conflict here and there, and you yourself, you're not confused about what to do, because you start feeling like maybe this is not going to work again. Okay, this is not going to work again. So Amara said, I'm almost always afraid. Yes, you're almost always afraid. It happens to everyone, even me myself. It happens to me. It happens to me. So a lot of us who are virtual assistants here, imagine you, a client reaching out to you. Okay, a client reaching out to you and asks you to do something for the client, and the client says, do something for me, this is what I want you to do for me. And you look at the project and you feel like, this project is so big, oh, it's beyond me, I cannot do it. That is how it just go. It has happened to me before. And that's because of the spirit of fear. I'm so afraid to let myself down. I'm so afraid that I don't want to let myself down. And I'm so afraid that I don't want to make my clients also lose his money. Like, because number one, we are return on investments. Okay, if a client is investing in you, putting their money in you, telling you that this is the person I want to hire to do this job. Okay, this is the person I want to hire to do this job. If you don't do the job well, it means that you've literally made that client to lose. That is one of the things that I was trying to avoid. So because of the spirit of fear, you just end up not doing what you're supposed to do. So Kate says, scared that it will flop, or I won't do it as good as I see others doing it. Exactly my point. Just like what I just said now. You're scared that it will flop. You're scared that it will flop. It's not going to work out. It happens to everyone. It happens to everyone. Okay. So happiness. Okay. Happiness says, Amara, you seem confident to me. Oh. So that is just it. Okay, it happens to everyone. You in fact, you're going to be in a phase where the moment you start to progress, that is when fear comes in. Okay, that is where fear comes in. That is where doubt comes in. That is when doubt comes in. You start doubting yourself that you're probably not good enough for um this role. You're probably not good enough to start this project. You're probably not good enough to start this business. It happens to everyone, and I'm going to share my experience with you guys. So in terms of starting an online business, okay, I had, when I first started, there was this business I wanted to do that's called importation, right? Importation. And I started this business, not like I started it. Let me talk about when I have not started. So I saw a lot of people, what's the word now? Putting money together, okay, putting money together to buy goods from different countries in China, Vietnam, and all the rest. And I kept telling myself that I want to also be like that. I want to also have my own money. And I kept telling myself that I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. I kept telling myself that if I don't have this money, that means because a lot of, when you start seeing people making it, you feel like if you put this amount of money in this business, you're not going to get returns for it. That is how it was for me. But at one point, I told myself that no, I'm not going to, keep waiting, because the money I was expecting did not come. So what did I do? What did I do? I used 30,000 naira. Okay, I used 30,000 naira, the 30,000 I had to what's the word now? To pay for some products online that is from China. I ordered it from China. So when those products came, when those products came, funny enough, the products I bought, they were in demand. They were in demand. And immediately I started putting it online for people to buy on Facebook, on my WhatsApp statuses and all the rest. A lot of people started purchasing it and started asking for more. And I was like, why did I start this thing since? Like, why didn't I start this thing since? And I started with a little amount of money. I didn't start with 50,000. I didn't start with 100,000. I just started with 30,000. And the response, or should I say, the returns I got from that business multiplied. And that made me to use the profit to buy more. And that was how I continued my importation business until I stopped after some time. So that is me starting messy. That is me starting with what I have. If you don't start with what you have, you will find it very difficult. You will find it very difficult to even start at all. You find it very difficult to even start. Let me give you guys another instance now. When I started this my online business, I started teaching a couple of persons, just few persons, and then it wasn't much. I didn't even have a community then. I didn't have a community then. I wasn't even on LinkedIn, so I was just doing it and everything. But when I came on LinkedIn and I decided to build my community, I did not even have any idea that I was going to start a business, like make the business to grow bigger and all the rest. My mindset was not there. I just wanted to help people and all the rest. But as time went on, I had these ideas in my head, but I was finding it difficult to start. Are you guys listening? I was finding it difficult to start. So what happened was that I had to meet somebody who was into what I was doing. Okay. And then she encouraged me and said, you have what it takes to do this. So why are you wasting your time? Like, why are you not doing it? Why are you not starting? Why are you not starting? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know where to start and everything. And she said, okay, just do this, and then let's see how it goes from there. And before you knew it, the ideas in my head started coming out like wildfire. That was how it was. You know that moment when you just start something and it's working? That is the energy it just keeps pushing you to do more. It keeps pushing you to do more. That is what happened to me. So the energy I took to start something, that was how I kept pushing. And more things started unfolding. The ideas that were in my head started popping out. Like, I started implementing all those ideas in my head. That was because I met somebody who spoke to me. Directly and told me that this is what you should do. This is what you should, because she has been in that field before, or sorry, she is in that field, and she knows where to start. She knows where not to start. There are some of you who you want to start something, but your thing, in fact, to reach out to somebody, okay, you're finding it difficult to reach out to somebody to help you out. Okay, even if you're not going to pay, at least get information, like how you can go about some certain things. Okay, but some people are finding it difficult to do that. You go and watch a lot of YouTube videos online, and you still come back to square one. You come back to square one, and you feel like you've gone round circle and everything, and then no results. But when you know somebody who has been there before, who has gone through all those things, and you know that person, and you don't reach out to that person for help, that is where the problem is. You will keep procrastinating. You will keep telling yourself that I'm going to start very soon. You will tell yourself that I will start next month. You will tell yourself that I will start 2 months from now. In fact, let me just tell you what happened to me. Before I even started this my YouTube channel, I was creating content, batch creating. I was batch creating my content. I just kept all of them. They were all in my draft. But I was not, like, I just did not post those contents. You know what I was telling myself? I was telling myself that a time will come when I will post this content. Time has not reached. I need a certain number of followers before I will start creating this content. Sorry, before I will start posting this content. Or I need to have a certain equipment before I will start posting this content. In fact, for me to even come and start doing this live on YouTube, It took me time. Some of you will know me from LinkedIn. You know that when I started this Real Talk with Fortuna event, I was not showing my face. I was not showing my face. It was just recently I started showing my face. That's to tell you that you have to upgrade yourself. You have to improve on yourself. You have to try something new. Okay, try something new. So when you try something new, it makes it easier for you to now implement those things that have been in your head. Like, it makes it easier for you to do a lot of things. So that is one thing about starting messy. I'm going to give you another example now. I spoke with somebody few days ago, and this person wanted to start a business. All right, this person wanted to start a business on how to make money online and everything. And she was confused. She didn't know how to go about starting her business and all the rest. And in fact, even the niche aspect was a challenge to her. So according to what she told me, she said that she has been looking for a way to reach out to me, but she doesn't know how to. Like, she kept on procrastinating, and then she finally made up her mind to reach out to me. And the moment she did that, we had a one-on-one call, about 30 minutes, or was it up to an hour? I think so. We had a one-on-one call, and I spoke to her, and I told her everything that she needed to know, things that she needed to start with. And do you know what she said? She said that I have made it easier for her. Like, she now have clarity. Okay, she now has clarity on what she needs to do. That is what talking to somebody can help you to do. Because you might be far away from someone who already knows what they're doing, and you're just watching the person. But even if you're watching this person, you will still not know until you come closer. I have had that experience before, and I believe that a lot of people have the same experience. You will not know until you come closer, because you need to ask the right questions. You don't need to stay behind. You don't need to stay far away, and then you're now contemplating, or you're second guessing so many things. You need to come closer for you to understand what you need to do, for you to start. Because a lot of people have the spirit of being perfectionist. Like, you're a perfectionist, you want everything to be perfect before you start something. No, you just need to start. In fact, the best thing to say is just start like that. Just start with what you have. Start with what you have. I made illustration about someone being a content creator. Okay, I made illustration about someone being a content creator. You can start with what you have. If you don't have a good lighting system, you can use natural daylight to create your content. Okay, and then you batch create them and keep one place, and edit your content and put it out there. You don't need to wait to have your lighting system before you start your content. I made that illustration. Okay, so now another thing is that some people are also comparing themselves. Okay, those of us that some of us that do like to compare ourselves with people who have gone ahead of us, right? Let's use, for instance, Vicky James, someone who is a fashion what's the word now, a fashionista. Like, you love fashion, and you want to um design clothes like Vicky James, and you feel like if you don't enroll in Vicky James class, you're not going to start learning how to create clothes for yourself. That's what some people's mindset are. Like, if you don't attend Vicky James class, you cannot start creating dress. Like, you cannot start creating clothes for yourself by learning from other people. Some people find it difficult to go to all these local shops where they make clothes, they teach people how to make clothes. Some of you guys, some people want to just go to those people, those what's it called, those fashion people, those people who are into fashion, like those ones that their clothes look good and everything. You say, if this person does not teach you, you cannot start it. And it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. You have to have, like, you need to start with what you have. Some of you, if you don't start with what you have, you will not know how to go about it. Imagine if you have someone like Vicky James. I believe she cannot start coming from scratch to teach somebody how to sew a cloth or anything like that. I believe that the best thing is when you already have an idea about sewing and everything before you can come to Vicky James, to make it easier for Vicky James. Because you cannot come to someone who is very good like that, and she's sewing clothes, designer clothes for celebrities, and then you who don't even have any idea about fashion, you now come to Vicky James and tell her that she should teach from scratch. Unless you pay her a big amount of money, and I don't want to mention that money, unless you pay her that kind of amount of money, that she will now take her time and sit down to teach you, to make it easier for you. But once you have a knowledge of something, you just need the right people that will take you to where you're supposed to go to, that will make your journey seamless, that will make your journey seamless. So it is very easy, it is very easy. Now let's talk about how to start messing. Now somebody have a question and the person start asking, how can I start messing? We have talked about the things that usually hinder us from starting messy and all the rest. Now the question is, how can you start messy? How can you start messy? The first thing to do is taking baby steps. Taking baby steps. When I mean taking baby steps, you have to start from somewhere. You cannot leave point A and go to point W or go to point X. No, you cannot do that. You have to start from one particular point, and that is where you are. What do you have in your hand? That is the question you need to ask yourself. What do you have in your hand? If you're a content writer now, if you're a content writer and you know that you, or should I say, you love writing, but your writing is still not good, you can start writing content. Okay, you can start writing content the way you think is good. Nobody will judge you. Nobody will say, oh, this person's content is bad. Anybody that does that, the person is not helping matters. In fact, the person is an enemy of progress. I'm going to put it that way. The person is not helping matters. So you can start writing your content just as it is, and as time goes on, you will become very, very, very good at writing good quality content with the right things in motion. Okay, because a lot to write content and they feel like this person's content is good, but the next minute they start copying that person's content, you start sounding like the next person. But that is not how it's supposed to be. Write a content based on what you know, not based on what someone else know. So whether your content structure is not good or is good or whatever it is, just start writing. And as time goes on, your writing becomes better. Why do I say your writing becomes better? Because you start observing other people's writing, you start checking their writing, and before you know it, your writing will start to improve. That was how I started. I wasn't a very good writer, but I loved writing. So that was how I started my own writing. Now I write for companies, I write for brands as well. So it takes time. You have to start with what you have. If you're a content creator, start with what you have. You don't need to have a mic. You don't need to have a mic before you want to put your face out there. You don't need to have a mic before you want to put your face out there. Just like how I'm talking now, I'm not using a mic. I'm not using a mic, but I'm using my voice just the way it is, and people can hear my voice. So you just have to start with what you have. Okay, start with what you have. Then the next thing is reward yourself. Reward yourself for every step that you take, every action that you've taken. That is how you can start messy. So every step that you take is a blessing. Every step that you take is it's pointing you towards another step that will make you to become better. So you appreciate the effort. You appreciate the effort that you've already taken, the steps that you've taken. So that way it will make it easier for you to appreciate yourself. It's just like saying you're encouraging yourself. You're encouraging yourself on everything that you do. Okay. A writer says clarity comes from action. Clarity comes from action. So the moment you have clarity on what to do, you take action. So if you don't have clarity on what to do, you will never take an action. You will never take an action on the next step to take. So you need to have clarity on what to do. If you don't have clarity on what to do, you will find it difficult to do that thing that you said you want to do. So whatever business you want to start a perfume business, you want to start a hair business, you don't need to have a big amount of money before you start that business. You just need to start, even if it's to buy one hair. Even if to buy one hair and then sell it, you get your profit and you go again. That is just it's just simple. It's just simple. You don't need to have about 20 to 30 pieces of hair before you can start selling. Even if you have one, I know that these days women's head, our head is very expensive. The hair that people sell, okay, the artificial hair that people sell, very expensive. You will see a hair of 150,000, you see a hair of 70,000. Okay, so if you have that amount of money to buy one hair, and you see a customer, you see somebody that will pay for that hair, just sell it. And once you sell it, you have your own profit, and then you go again. The more you keep going, the more you start making more profit to buy more for yourself. Thank you so much, Halima, for joining. Thank you, Creative by Amaka. Thank you so much for joining. Miss Olariwaju, thank you so much for joining. You guys are really amazing. Keep your comments, comments coming. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Okay, so that is just what you need to do. You don't need to have everything before you start. You don't need to have everything before you start. Make sure that you just start with something. Okay, make sure that you start with something. When I started my business, I wasn't sure of where I was going to be. Like, I didn't even know that I would get here, I would get to this point. But I started from small. And even my community on WhatsApp, we started small. We had over 300 persons that joined our community, and now we are over 1,000 persons. So you can see how starting small, baby steps, how it works. As time goes on, you're progressing. As time goes on, you are improving on what you're doing. So it makes it very easier for you to, do what you're supposed to do. So it is very easy to start messy. So if you're always feeling like I don't want to start this thing, okay, if you're always feeling like I don't want to start this thing now, I'm waiting for this, I'm waiting for that, you are never going to start. That is the simple truth. I will tell you, you are never going to start. The moment you start saying I want to do this, but let me wait for this thing first, you are never going to start. You will keep procrastinating, you will keep doubting yourself, you will keep feeling like you want to be like this person, but you don't have what it takes to be like this person. So you just need to start with yourself. Embrace who you are. Embrace who you are. Thank you, Nosh. Thank you, Noshlight, for joining. Noshlight Baje. Oh, so sorry. I don't know how to pronounce that name. So sorry if I pronounced it wrongly. Thank you. So that is just it. You need to start with yourself. Okay. Another thing is that, how do you start messy? You need to be bold. Be confident of what you want to do. For those of us joining in late, I talked about conviction. If in your spirit tells you that this thing is something that you want to start, that you should start this thing, just know that you are going to succeed in that thing. And if you keep procrastinating that thing, there is a time, should I say, there is a time lapse or a time limit for something. Let's say in the universe or out there, right? If you're supposed to start this business from July to if you're supposed to start a business, and the only time you're supposed to progress is from July to September, and you kept procrastinating and you don't start it within that 3 months, my dear, even if you start that business months later, the energy, or should I say the results you're supposed to get within that time, it has gone. I'm going to be honest with you, because it has happened to me before. It has gone. So that time when you're supposed to start something and you did not start it, it has gone. Because now you'll be finding it difficult. You'll be struggling. And before you know, some people will be saying village people, village people. No, it is not village people. It is you. It is you. Nobody can control what you are or control who you are if you do not tell yourself that this is who you are, or this is what you want to do. You are the one that have the power to control things in your life. If you don't control things in your life, things will not work out the way you want it to work out. It will not at all. So that is why I said, whatever thing you want to do, you start it now. Do not waste time. If you want to start a YouTube, if you want to start creating content on YouTube, start it today. Start by creating your content, and know when you are supposed to post your content on YouTube. If you want to start a business and you say that the money that you want to start that business is not enough, you're going to waste that time. So the best thing to do is to start with what you have. if you don't start with what you have, if you don't start with what you have, it will be difficult for you to get the right results at the right time. So that is what a lot of people are missing out. When you don't have the confidence, you don't have that energy, okay, inside of you to start something, you're just going to be there. You are just going to be there. So you need to learn how to take baby steps, just like what I said. The first thing on how to start messy, you need to learn how to start taking baby steps. Start learning how to take baby steps. The baby steps might not be much, but if you start from somewhere, okay, you're going to progress. So if you want to learn a course online, start going to look for websites that gives free courses or whatever it is, okay, and then you start your classes. And somebody will come and tell you that, somebody will say, I don't have data, to start this online class, I don't have data. What's the word now? MTN, for those of us using MTN, they or any other network, they have different kind of what's the word now? They have different data subscription, right? You have 5 gig, you have 3 gig. Start from somewhere. And before you know it, you tell somebody that, oh, I'm learning a course online. No, I'm learning a course online, but I don't have data to I'm struggling with data. Before you know it, somebody will just send data to your account or send money to you and tell you that, okay, pay for this subscription and do your classes. And before you know it, that data will no longer be a challenge to you again. It will no longer be a problem to you. But when you don't start something, how is somebody going to help you? Let me ask you guys that question. If you don't start something now and you need help from people, those people, are they going to help you? Are they going to help you? I want to get your response in the comment section. If you, let's say you want to start an online business now, or you want to get married, for the guys now, they want to get married. If you don't start something, are your family members going to help you to, in terms of arrangement and everything? Are they going to help you? If you want to start an online business and you have, let's say, most of us here might be married, okay, let's say you're married now and you want to start an online business, and you have your husband will start asking you, okay, you want to start an online business, what's the way forward? How much do you want to put into that business? Have you written a plan to start that business? If there is no plan at all, there is nobody that will invest in you, okay, except the person just want to throw money like that. But people like to invest. So when you invest in something, you know that this thing is going to yield return. It is going to yield return. So when this particular thing does not yield return, when I mean yield return, it doesn't have to be monetary. It doesn't have to be monetary. It's probably the person's progress. If you are not progressing, okay, if you are not progressing, then there is a challenge there. There is a challenge. But if you know you are progressing and this person puts money into your hands, this person invested into your business, into whatever thing you're doing, and the person is seeing progress, no matter how little it is, that is you being able to come out of your shell, and then confidence, you're confident about what you're doing and you're now making progress, and the person is happy that yes, this person invested into somebody else's future and the person is doing well. That is how you can literally start. Okay, so if you want to start a course online, you want to start an online business, whatever it is, whatever that plan you start with the baby steps. Okay, so that is how it is. So the moment you decide that this is what you want to do, it makes it easier for other people to help you, because make sure that you have a plan. Once you have a plan, you start with the baby steps. If you don't have a plan, it will be difficult for you, to start with those baby steps. So make sure you start with those baby steps. Okay, so if you have any questions on how to start messy, if you have any questions about how you can start messy, please drop it in the comment section, because I will soon round up. So please drop your comments. If you have any questions at all for me, drop it in the comment section and I'm going to answer those questions. Okay, so that is how it is. So the moment you decide that this is what you want to do, it makes it easier for other people to help you, because nobody will want to help somebody that doesn't know their left and right. Nobody will want to help somebody that is not conscious of whatever thing they want to do. And for some of us who are perfectionists, you might be perfect, you might want to do something perfect, but it's not everything that is perfect in this life. Not everything that is perfect. In fact, there are times when you will do something and it will look so perfect, and then along the line it becomes messy. It just gets spoiled along the line. There are situations like that. I believe some of us, we've had that experience before, when you want to start something and it feels so perfect, and once you've started it, after some time, that thing that you thought was perfect becomes messy. That is why they keep saying that you don't have to be perfect to start something. If you're a perfectionist, learn how to start messy. And messy doesn't mean that you have to start like that, like you just have to start anyhow. Like I told you before, you need to have a plan. You need to have a plan. If you don't have a plan, it will be difficult for you to start the right way. So once you have a plan, once you have things in motion, you now start creating baby steps for whatever thing you want to do. Okay, so does anyone have any question in the comment section? Let me check the comments. Please, if you have any question in the comment section, please, I'm sorry, if you have any question, please drop it in the comment section. And if you're still on this call, please do well to drop emojis if you know that you got value from today's live streaming. And if you have questions, please do well to drop your questions in the comment section. Thank you so much. I would have loved to play music, but I cannot play any music right now. I cannot play any music right now because YouTube have a way of blocking a lot of things. So I would have played a music right now, but I cannot play music right now. So if you have questions, please do well to drop your questions. Thank you so much, Halima. I'm sorry, Happiness. Thank you so much, Halima. Thank you, Happiness. So if you have a question, do well to drop it in the comment section and I'm going to answer your questions. Thank you, Happiness. I'm so glad you got value from today's section. And I want to believe that even after watching this video, please, you can watch the stream after now. For those of us who were not able to make it to this live stream, right? You can still watch it on YouTube and watch the part that you missed. Okay, watch the part that you missed. So if you're still for those of us who missed, you can watch the part that you missed. Okay, so it's still on air, you can do that. Thank you, Amara. Thank you, Amara. Even perfection can get messy in the long run, so start messy and stop waiting for perfection. Thank you so much, Amara Chuku. Perfection can get messy. Yeah, perfection can get messy along the line, so you just need to start messy and stop waiting for perfection. So if the word messy is affecting some people, okay, like I said, that word messy doesn't mean that you have to start anyhow. Okay, you have to start. No, it's not what it means. You just need to start with what you have, just like what I keep saying, using the illustration of content creators. Like if you're a content creator, start with your phone. You don't need to have a digital camera for you to start creating your content. No, sometimes I see a lot of people having good cameras and all that, and I'm like, oh, this camera is good, and mine is not as clear as that, but I am still creating my videos. I am still creating content that people love the content and they appreciate the content. So some I have seen a lot of people's videos on Instagram, on TikTok. Their quality, their camera quality is very bad. Like, when I mean bad, some of them you're not even seeing their face very well. Some of them they might be fair, but their camera quality is making them look dark. That is how bad the camera quality is. And they are still getting views. Okay, if views is your problem, they are still getting views. So if you think that you need to have that good phone or good camera and everything, you're just wasting your time. In fact, you will not start at all at all. You will not start at all at all. So the best thing is to start. So if you're here and there is something that you know that you need to do, but you've not done it, and it's something that you keep procrastinating, please go back to your drawing board and map out how you want to start messy. Like I told you guys, you don't have to have everything for you to start. So map out everything that you want to do and start with that baby steps. And trust me when I say that you are going to start making progress. No matter how small it is, you are going to start making progress. That is how it works. That is how it works. So when you want to get results, okay, when you want to get results, you just have to start somewhere. And do not expect to grow overnight. When I mean grow, if you're looking for lot of followers or views or whatever, do not expect to grow overnight. You have to start. Consistency is key. Consistency is key. If you're not consistent in what you're doing, you're not going to get results. So you have to be consistent. Okay, you have to be consistent for you to get the right results. Okay, so that is it for today's streaming. So please, everyone, please just know that from today we'll be having our events, our Real Talk with Fortuna on YouTube, and subsequently we are going to be having more streaming on YouTube on other topics, right? So it might not be real talk with Fortuna, but it might be other topics that we would want to treat, and those topics are delicate, so we don't need to wait until real talk with Fortuna events comes in before we start sharing those topics. No, there are times that there are some certain things that people need to hear. So if you don't say it, somebody's life is hanging in the air because somebody's life is hanging in the air because you're withholding an information. That is how it is. So we'll be having most of these events, this live stream once in a while on YouTube. As time goes on, we'll see how we can improve. So please, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do well to subscribe to my YouTube channel, because like I said, starting messy, I am going to be starting I'm starting. In fact, I've started messy already. I've put my content out there and more content are still coming. So please do well to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not. If you are just joining and you're not from LinkedIn, rather, because some faces here are from LinkedIn. So if you're not from LinkedIn, okay, and you're just joining us through YouTube, please do well to connect with me on YouTube. And then if you check the description of this event, you're going to see our community, right? Virtual lights up community. That is where we teach skill, and also we have workshops where we teach more freelancers how to do a lot of stuff, and then remote opportunities as well in that community. There is a lot for you to learn in that community, so you can join our community. Is in the description. Okay, check the description in this live stream. You're going to see the description there. So thank you very much everyone for joining. Thank you so much, guys. So see you guys in the next live stream. Okay, so bye guys, and see you next time.